Kerry, drag us back to the 1990s. Who is Michael E. Mann and who is Mark Steyn, and why are they locked together in a courtroom?
Well, that's a very good question. It's a long time ago now. At that time, 1990s, Michael E. Mann was a youngish academic, and he was making his name in 1998 with a paper in Nature, which he put together with two other climate scientists, Bradley and Hughes, and they were working on proxies of tree rings and ice cores, other data. They were putting them together, and they gave that data to Michael Mann to create a graph with. So he did all the statistics in the graph. And the graph came out in Nature, and it was a very dramatic uptick in the 20th century, as you say, iconic uptick that has been used as the emblem of climate change alarmists everywhere ever since. The Washington Post this morning in a piece called it iconic. So it's been seen everywhere by everyone. And then as soon as it came out, people were starting to scratch their chins and say, where's the data for all this? How does all this add up? Then the IPCC in 2001 propelled it to even greater heights by featuring it prominently in its report. And that just established it in the landscape. And after that, it was a clear run for 2007 and Inconvenient Truth with Al Gore. Then came ClimateGate, which showed you what had been happening behind the scenes. In the meantime, there'd been a lot of scientific controversy with various statisticians, maths professors, very eminent people in all sorts of fields taking issue with it. And then Michael Mann was revealed in the ClimateGate emails to be attacking them back, deplatforming them in various ways. So ever since 2012, when the blog posts that Mark Steyn and Rand Sinberg, who is actually a rocket scientist, if you please, when they wrote their blogs in 2012, Michael Mann decided he'd had enough for whatever reason, and he litigated for defamation. So the case started then. It's been somnolent at various times, but it's just gone on and on. And amazingly, he hasn't had to pay one penny of the litigation. So for him, it's no big deal. But of course, for people like, journalists and bloggers, Steyn and Sinberg, it can be ruinous, absolutely ruinous. And they've had to fight this case for 12 years themselves. Mark is now representing himself in the courtroom. So I can only imagine that millions of dollars have been spent on their side. And that really goes to the significance of the case, because if Mann succeeds in effectively silencing any criticism of his work on scientific ground, then what's happened to free speech? What's happened to pushing back on climate claims? It just means that people won't even take on the entire kit and caboodle because it's much too damaging.